There's a saying in the stock market: the bull goes up the stairs, the bear goes out the window, which means it takes a long time to build something strong, and it goes away real quick, real fast. Steelers won 11 straight games last season. They looked like they were unstoppable. I think they ran into the Jets or somebody, and it all just fell apart, and they got exposed real quick. What got exposed was the fact that Ben Roethlisberger is not the same Ben Roethlisberger he was 15 years ago. He's been hanging on by a thread, and he's extremely good at getting the ball out of his hands very quickly, and I think that's prolonged his career, and that saved them last season. But they're still not good enough. They went 12-4 after going 11-0. The 25th ranked offense in the league, 15th passing the ball right in the middle of the pack, 32nd running the ball. I don't know how that's possible. There's only 32 teams, so how are you the 32nd best running team in the NFL? And your offensive line was pretty good. 11th in the league in defense. That's their bread and butter. 3rd in the league against the pass. 11th against the run. Very good defense, have been for years. The GM, Kevin Colbert, 20 years with the team. They give him a 1-year extension. To me, this team reeks of rebuild, and I think that's indicative by Ben restructuring his contract for one more year, which expires the day after the end of this season, or can be nullified. And this 1-year extension for the GM, because I think this is kind of a nostalgia run, this one last year with Ben, but they have to start rebuilding now. Head coach Mike Tomlin, I think, is fantastic. 13th year with the team. Youngest coach to win a Super Bowl. Very defensively minded coach. Offensive coordinator Mike Canada was a quarterbacks coach for them last season who got promoted. Didn't really have much to do with the team because of COVID. His experience is mostly in college as a quarterbacks coach. He was at LSU for a hot minute, but mostly smaller schools. Defensive coordinator Keith Butler had been with the team 5 years as defensive coordinator. He was a linebackers coach before that. Very successful. The linebacking core is their bread and butter. So Keith Butler, yes, doing a good job. Cap space around $5 million. They are currently working some things out. They just restructured Ben. They restructured Cam Hayward to keep him, even though he's getting a little older. Both defensive ends are getting kind of older. But that freed up about $7 million. The free agents, notable free agents, Alejandro Villanueva. I was on the fence whether they should re-sign him or not. He's, on the wrong side of 30. For a team that's rebuilding, it would be great to keep him on a team-friendly deal, but I think he'll be in too high demand. Free agency opens today, so we'll see who makes him an offer. Juju is gone. He kind of got exposed as being a great wide receiver playing next to Antonio Brown, but if he's not playing next to Antonio Brown, not great, not what they need. And Chase Claypool, I think, could take over his role. Pouncey, retired. Great center, him and his brother. Going to have to replace him. Bud Dupree is gone again today, first day of free agency. Someone's going to swoop in and grab him. James Conner, the run game. There was no run game, so re-signing James Conner, I don't think is going to happen. Can they make any cuts? The only one they could really cut, probably Joe Hayden. Might be a cap casualty. They could free up probably $7 million if they cut him. And he's older. He's great. He'll get a job somewhere. But for a team that's going into rebuild mode, maybe use that cap space elsewhere. Stephon Tuitt, I think the cap hit would be too much. So Tuitt will be back. Cam Hayward restructured. He's there for a couple more years. Biggest needs, quarterback is a big need. A center, of course. Depending on what happens today, they might need a left tackle. Free agents to go after. I don't see them really going after free agents. Mostly because I think, again, it's rebuild mode. I think they're going to get younger, and they have to prepare probably for next season where they have real serious free agents they're going to need to wrap up, like Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, Brian DeCastro. Like they need to prepare themselves for next year. So let's get straight to the draft. The fun stuff. This scenario, I have them taking the best available offensive lineman at 24 overall. Elijah Vera Tucker, I'm huge on, and for the most part, once you get past Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, and Christian Darrisaw, it's Elijah Vera Tucker, versatile, can play guard or tackle. next round, I could see them going Paris Ford, or maybe even Andre Sisco. I'd prefer a strong safety because I think next year they might have to replace Terrell Edmonds. I think they should be dedicated to Minkah Fitzpatrick at free safety. Strong safety, might have to get someone acclimated. Third round, I can see them going Javonte Williams. They need a dynamic running back. I've gotten lower and lower on the value of a running back in the first, certainly in the first round. But a Javonte Williams in the third round would be a steal for them. And they should be going for a center like Trey Hill. I don't know how PFF has him ranked this low. To me, he's the second best center next to Creed Humphrey, and probably the best for a team that wants to run. Go with Trey Hill at center. And a Jamie Newman should be available around this point. There are some other quarterbacks in this tier, maybe a Shane Buechele, maybe a Sam Ehlinger, that they could take a chance on. But I don't think that the quarterback of their future will be available to them. Even with the 24th overall pick, I don't think the quarterback they want will be available. Maybe a Kellen Mond falls to them. Maybe. Maybe they have to pull a trigger a little early on a Kyle Trask. We will see. But this other scenario I want to present to you for the mock, if they go Najee Harris in the first round, this is a definite possibility. This is one of the teams that, if Najee goes in the first round, it could be to the Steelers because he is that dynamic a running back. And he can do a lot on his own. Creed Humphrey, second round, for the same reason, need a center. Hamza Nasir-Eldin, same reason, you need a strong safety of the future. You should go all in with Minkah Fitzpatrick at free safety. And you round out this draft with some nice depth, pass rusher, another offensive lineman, and have some fun because these Steelers got to rebuild.
As for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that is a season full of promise. 11-0 that is just, it ends in weeping. Big Ben